Dotonbori, Osaka. I arrived to Osaka from Hiroshima, and I headed into the city towards my hotel. Once again, I took advantage of the ability to leave my luggage behind prior to check-in so I could go explore. I grabbed a train to head towards Osaka Castle. Ads for Osaka Expo 25 can be seen emblazoned on the trains. Lots of dual language signage made navigation pretty easy. Plus, there was plenty of maps on the grounds. Castle defenses were impressive, and I made my way to the gate. The grounds themselves were beautifully landscaped, and if you find just the right angle, you can get a really beautiful picture. Now there's Osaka Castle. Don't forget to get that mandatory selfie. I decided against ascending the castle and decided to carry on exploring the grounds. There is a boat tour that circles the grounds, but I was more interested in the castle park's Nishinomaru Garden, which can be seen across the moat here. I grabbed a ticket for 200 yen, or about $1.35 US, and headed into the gardens. In the spring, it's a very famous sakura or cherry blossom viewing spot, as it has 300 cherry trees around the gardens. As you can see, you could sit in the shade of the sakura and look on the castle grounds or the city skyline. Well, a walk through the attached gardens offers some really good views of Osaka Castle. Don't forget, there's always time for a silly selfie. Upon departing the grounds, I headed to the NHK building just minutes away. It houses the Osaka Museum of History. On display was ancient Japanese court attire from the Naniwa Palace period of the 7th and 8th century. I continued on to find displays explaining the formation and development of the city of Osaka during the 7th century AD. Traditional building materials of the day were on display, as well as examples of the building style of the neighborhoods of the period. Improvements throughout the years were represented as well. You can see examples of traditional bridge building of the era. This is the Osaka Bashi Bridge. This is an example of a large theater of the Dotonbori theater district of the time. A New Year's performance is given as an example here. Lifestyles of the early 1900s were represented as well, from life to work to even trade. I have to say that it's always cool to see the samurai era armor and weapons. The corners of the museum offer great views of the city of Osaka, including Osaka Castle and the city downtown. At this point, I headed back to check into my hotel. Another business style with just enough room for me. At that point, it was late enough and I was hungry enough, so I found a local izakaya and ordered up the set menu of ramen with pork, rice, and rib ends. Then back to the room to crash out. The next morning, I got ready and checked my fit. Tall guy problems, of course. Then it was off to Osaka Shinsekai, or New World. The building style made in the early 1900s was meant to imitate Coney Island in New York. I had to chuckle as the music being piped in was Eric Clapton and Guns N' Roses. It was time to grab the first bite of the day, so I stopped to have a pork omelet. It may look wild, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. Then it was on to check out the Pringles Store, just to see all the wild flavors, such as cod roe and chicken wing flavor. From there I headed out to find Animate Osaka Nipponbashi. I was in search of a souvenir for a friend of mine who lives in Canada. Mission accomplished, I started my trek towards Dotonbori. I saw places I recognized and places I'd never seen before. I stopped off at Namba Yasaka Jinja, a shrine shaped like a lion's head, standing 12 feet tall. The grounds aren't gigantic, but they are well maintained and draw a lot of visitors each year. Next stop on my explorations, I found Ebisu Bashi-Suji, a covered shopping street with lots of fashionable stores and dessert shops. I looked for some custom ASICs, but asking "Jugo size wa arimasu ka?" did elicit a chuckle. I asked for size 15s and realized that most of their sizes only go up to US 10. Big guy problems strike again. I decided to console myself with another new treat, candied strawberries. Yum. Then it was on to Dotonbori. Upon arrival, it wasn't hard to see the inspiration for the visuals in the movie Blade Runner. This Ferris wheel is called Ebisu Tower. There's river tours, tons of food stalls, and it's obvious why this is a popular tourist location. I decided to try a food that Osaka is famous for, takoyaki. The term literally translates to grilled octopus and is a bite-sized street food made of wheat flour batter, dashi, and octopus pieces. It's then grilled in a special pan. I highly recommend it. I passed some interesting izakayas on the way back to the room, but I chose the Flying Tiger across the street from my hotel. Decided to pass on the fermented snake liquor, but I did order a kimchi yakisoba. Two great foods in one dish. 9 out of 10 for me. After a good night's sleep, it was time to head to Shin-Osaka Station to catch the Shinkansen to Yokohama. I grabbed my ticket, popped into the kombini to grab an ikiben, then headed to my platform to await my train. Made it aboard the Nozomi Juyon, the Nozomi 14, which heads towards Tokyo, but I'll be getting off at Shin-Yokohama. Putting Osaka in the rear view, and hopefully we'll get to see Fuji out the window. Well, my luck and the weather held, and there's Mount Fuji, off to the left side of the Shinkansen. Another tasty ekiben, then time to relax and watch the countryside roll by. Next stop, next video, Yokohama. Thanks for watching, and remember, it's a big world. Go see it. Drop me a comment if you'd like, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you can.